guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, I'm Lauren, and on my channel we talk about all things personal finance, including my family's own journey to pay off six-figure student loan debt. So if you want to see more videos about those topics from me, then hit that red subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my family's projected annual budget, our gross budget for the year. I put in all the numbers of all the income I think we're going to make for the whole year and all my estimates of what our expenses are going to be. So I wanted to go over that with you today to talk through how I think about setting our goals and how I decide how much is going to go to each category and different financial goals, and how my husband and I kind of brainstorm what we want our budget to look like for the year. In this video, I'm also going to be showing you how you can do an annual budget with irregular income and why it's so important to do an annual budget, especially if you have irregular income. So I'm going to show you guys that right now. All right, so this is our 2022 projected annual gross budget. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you like this spreadsheet, you can get it. It's available for purchase on my Etsy shop. It comes with this annual budget, and it also comes with a monthly budget. And in that, it comes with both versions, net and gross. So gross is before taxes and other paycheck deductions, and net is just how much actually gets deposited into your bank account when you're paid. So it comes with all those versions, annual and monthly, and it also comes with a detailed video tutorial of how to set it up. So like I said, that'll be linked in the video description. This is our annual budget. So we've estimated that we are going to make $173,000 this year. But as you can see, some months are higher than others. January, I've estimated $17,000, and February and March, $12,000, and then April, $14,000, and May, $12,000. So, you know, I'm able to estimate this based on a couple things. Some months I expect to be higher because I know that my husband usually gets a bonus at certain times of the year, or I've looked and he gets paid every other week. And so some months he gets a third paycheck instead of just two paychecks. And then for me, my full-time job is YouTube, so I know certain times of the year I'm expecting my income to be a little higher from YouTube or a little bit lower. So when I put all that together, I can get a good estimate of what we're gonna make, but it could be very different from this because I'm also estimating my increases in income over time doing YouTube and raises that my husband might get and stuff like that. So it's totally an estimate, but it's better than not doing it at all. I mean, it's going to be different than the actual, but it's really helpful to set up this projection in order to estimate like what you want to do for your financial goals for the year and set those goals. All right, so the first section we have here after income is taxes. So I just estimated the taxes based off the income we're expecting in any given month. So the total taxes we expect to pay is $33,502 this year. I put in health costs. Again, I increased this a little bit from current, but I don't know if our health costs are gonna go up, so that's just an estimate. And I also think we're gonna be eligible for an FSA account this year, but I'm not sure what month it starts, so it might not be all year long, but I just put it all year long. And then other of $25, I think there's a couple other little paycheck deductions that come out of my husband's check, so I put that there. Next, for pay yourself first. So for 2021, we're contributing $19,500 to my husband's 401k, and now that I'm not working full-time, we just needed to cut back on that a little bit if we were gonna be able to still make some good dents in our debt this year. So this is why this is helpful to do this exercise, because I could see, hey, if we kept the 401k deductions at what they are, then it's going to be really hard to have extra debt payments. So we had to decide how to prioritize things. Okay, my battery died, but we're back. Okay, so what I was saying is, yeah, last year we put $19,500 towards this 401k, and this year we've only budgeted $15,600. So it's $600 per paycheck instead of $750, which is still like a huge amount of money, but yeah, it's probably going to be less unless we make more money than we're expecting. All right, my Roth IRA, we definitely want to max that out. So we've got $500 a month for a total of $6,000. And then brokerage, we're going to continue to put money into our brokerage accounts. And for the year, we budgeted $1,800. Next, for the debt section, we put $50 a month for our HELOC because that's the minimum payment. And then the minimum payments for our two student loans, although I know I already need to adjust this because we just are in the process of refinancing my husband's student loan, and so that payment is going to be slightly different. But either way, if his payment's a little bit less, then whatever the difference is, we'll just go to this extra debt payment. So our total like debt payments will be the same. It'll just be allocated a little differently within the section. So $10,700 to his loan, which will probably be slightly less, maybe like $10,000, and then $22,584 towards my student loan, and then at least $3,000 in extra payments for a total of just under $37,000 for total debt payments for the year. Fixed expenses, I'm not gonna probably go through line by line because these are just what things cost. We've gotten them down pretty much as low as they can go. We got our car insurance lower this year. We got our internet down. It used to be like internet and cable and have a whole bundle, and we got rid of that. Our subscriptions are just $10 a month. And I will point out, we've got this miscellaneous section. So like I know in March, I believe our Amazon Prime renews, and I think our property insurance is due. So we've got some extra costs there. Also in May, I know we have to pay the annual fee for my daughter's like cord blood banking. So there's things that come up on an annual basis that I've been tracking. So I know that we've got these extra expenses. So that's again why an annual budget is good, because then you can just look at this when you're doing your monthly budget and say, oh yeah, when I did all that work at the beginning of the year to track everything, you know, of the miscellaneous expenses that come up, was there anything this month I need to account for? And you can see, oh yeah, we need an extra $280 this month for whatever this miscellaneous thing is. And I mark it miscellaneous on this annual budget, but in the monthly budget, I would actually label what it is, but I can't do that because each month it's something different. So for these irregular, like one-off expenses, I just put it in this miscellaneous, and then sometimes I'll put a note and write what it is. But I kind of know them by heart, so I don't necessarily need to do that. All right, we've got a lot of sinking funds. Groceries, we aim for $250 per week, and that's been working for us for quite a while. So I know that certain months we've got an extra week, you know, because we do our groceries on Tuesdays, and so depending on how many Tuesdays there are on the month. So I looked ahead and saw that, okay, you know, March, June, September, and December, we've got an extra Tuesday or Wednesday. I forget which day I counted it on, but yeah, you can see which months are gonna be like a little more expensive because there's not exactly 4 weeks in every month, and we do our groceries weekly. And then vacation fund, I'm really excited about this. I had a goal to get $3,000 in here, and you can see we've got $2,500 in here. I don't know that we're gonna be able to get $3,000 in there, but $2,500 is pretty close, and that way, when we're going throughout the year, if we've got a little extra money and I feel comfortable allocating it to something fun, I see that, hey, you know, we're underfunded on our vacation fund, let's throw some in there. Spending money is going to stay the same as it's been. It's you know, $50 a week, but it's not really by the week. It's just $200 a month for each me and my husband. My daughter gets $150, and then baby number 2 gets $50, and then I upped it towards the later half of the year. And then I do have in here kids activity and preschool. This is new. So for the first half of the year, just some money for like activities, and then I hope to put my daughter in preschool next summer. I'm hoping we can afford it. So I've budgeted $500 a month starting in July. I don't know if that's the timing of when it's actually gonna happen, or if that's even what the cost would be. It would be very part-time for that cost, I think, but I would love to have her going to a preschool like a couple days a week at least to just, you know, get the interaction, and I'm hoping we can afford it. All right, we've got like pet expenses, gas, gifts. I don't know that I'm gonna go through all of these either. I think I'm just gonna skip down. We've got Christmas, $1,200 budgeted for Christmas, $100 a month, and this is also money that we use for my daughter's birthday party. I think we will actually have a party this year, hopefully. But you can see down here, this is the irregular income part of it. So left to budget is how much income you have minus all the expenses gives you your left to budget. So here we've got $1,000 extra that we need to budget. But in these months, you can see we're negative. So that's what happens when you have a regular income, is you're gonna be over some months and negative some months. So we've got extra here, $2,000 over here, but we're like, you know, $1,000 short other months. So you can see overall for the year, this is what I like about this spreadsheet. Even though some months are positive and some are negative, you can see overall for the year, we've got an extra $354. So I'm not gonna try to get that down to zero because this is a projected annual budget. It's like an estimate. If it was just a monthly budget, I would try to get it exactly to zero total, but because it's just a projection, I'm not that worried. As long as that's a positive number in that bottom right corner, that's a good thing. But I need to fix this because we can't think we have an extra $1,000 in January and then be like, almost $1,500 short in February and March. So I need to make some adjustments. So let me show you guys how I do that. So first of all, I start at the end of the year and I go forward. So first of all, I see we have an extra $1,500 in December. So what is an expense that doesn't have to be paid in a certain month that can be paid in December. So the first thing I'm gonna look at is my Roth IRA, because that's not something where we'd have to adjust paycheck deductions. That's just a contribution that we make on our own. So for my Roth IRA, instead of $500, if we put $2,000 in this month, actually before I do that, I like to mark over here what the total is so I know what I'm trying to get back to. So what was it, $2,000 here, and then we only have $22 extra. So now we're more balanced for that month, but then we're ahead by $1,500 of what we need for my Roth IRA. So we can get rid of $1,500 of Roth IRA contributions in other months that are negative. So then I like to go forward. So if we go to February, March, and May, we can see, okay, there's 3 months that were negative. So if I change February to 0, March to 0, and May to 0, then we're back at that $6,000 annually, and we've fixed the problem for February where we were negative. Now we're positive right there, and you can see the overall for the year, we're still ahead by $354. So we're back to where we were before in terms of, you know, all the numbers totaling, but we've just moved some things around so we don't have negative numbers or really excessively positive numbers in certain categories. So then let's go to the next month in November. So we're negative by $641. So what's something else we can adjust in November to get that number more positive? So next thing I like to look at is an extra debt payment. I could look at this brokerage, but I just want to tell you guys, most of this that goes into my brokerage account, just being honest, is like referral bonuses from you guys signing up for M1 Finance and Acorns. So I don't really want to adjust that, because that income that when it comes in, it goes right into my brokerage account, and I'd have to withdraw it from the account and like sell whatever it's invested in order to use the money for something else. So I'm not gonna be touching that one because of where those contributions actually come from. So just wanted to let you guys know that. So yeah, the next easiest thing to adjust is extra debt payments. So again, it's gonna be $3,000 in extra debt payments, so we know what we're trying to get back to. And so let's put that at 0. And then we go to our next positive month that has 409 extra here. So I'm gonna put an extra 250 here, so this is 500. So we're still at 3,000 here. We've just moved the extra debt payment from November to October, and then we're still negative by $391. So if we change this Roth IRA contribution to $100 instead of $500, then we are positive here, but we need to make up $400 then for the Roth IRA. So then I go to the next positive month, which is 159. So we can put another 150 to my Roth this month, and then we're just 250 behind. So let me find the next really positive month. Okay, here we can definitely afford it in July. We've got an extra $2,100, almost $2,200. So let's put 750 this month, and now we're back to that $6,000. We're back to 354 right here, and we have positive numbers here all the way up to September. Okay, so let's see, September is negative $891. So again, let's get rid of this Roth IRA contribution and get rid of the extra debt payment. That will get us to negative 141. And then also, let's see, let's get rid of this. We can change this down to 150. Instead of 300. This is utilities. So that's something that I don't mind messing with sinking funds for things that like I know I'm not going to accidentally spend extra money on. I don't love like pre-funding my grocery sinking fund or spending money sinking funds because I know that can accidentally get spent, but for like utilities and stuff, I don't mind too much. So let's go to the next month that's positive. So we need an extra 150 here. So I'm actually going to do it this way. I'm going to add 150. So now we're back to this 3,600 here. And then what else do we need? We took out an extra 1,700. So we'll put another 500 here. And this is short 250. So yeah, we'll change this to 500. So again, we've got 6,000 here, we've got 3,000 here. We've got 3,600 here still. We're at our 354 down here, and now September is all set. So now moving on to August, we know we can take money from July because there's extra there. So I'm gonna again go to the Roth IRA, and let's see, that gets us to 140. So I'm gonna take this down to 100, and now we're positive there. So what did we take out? 150. Hopefully this is making sense to you guys. I don't really know how to explain it any better. And we took out 500, so we're gonna add 500 here. Okay, so this is still matching, this is still matching, and we are now positive in August. Okay, July we've got a positive number, and then our negatives are over here. So let's definitely get rid of the Roth IRA here. That helps us some. We'll get rid of the extra debt payment here. Now we're negative $241, so let's bring this down to $50 here for the utilities, and we can move some of that over here. So for utilities, I'm gonna fund that first because that's a priority. So for utilities, we need to add 250. Now I've got 147 left. So let's see, we'll do extra debt payments. We'll do 150 here. So this is still short $100, and this is short 500, and this is at -3, which is fine because it's an estimate. So we'll leave that there, but we do need to make up for this that's negative. This is short by $100, and this is short by 500 still. So let's go to the next positive month, and we'll fix that there. So here, let's put $1,000. So now we're back at 6,000. We put $1,000 here, and we still have money here. And then we're also short $100 in extra debt payments. So I will take it out of, what was that, April? Yeah. So extra debt payments, we'll put $350 in extra debt payments. So now this is matching again, and we are still at a positive number here, so we didn't take out too much. All right, this is negative by $521. Oh yeah, we already took money out of the Roth IRA, so extra debt payment, we'll take that down to 0. And then we're still short by $271. So we'll take this down to $30 for utilities, and we'll move utilities over. So what is that, $270? There used to be $300 in each of these, and now they total to $600 still, but we do $570 one month and $30 in the other month. So that's at -1, that's pretty good. And then what's missing? We're missing $250 here to extra debt payments. So let's go to the next positive month, which is going to be January, and we will put this at 500 instead of 250. So again, we're back to this 354 right here, and all of our numbers are matching our goals. So we're almost there. You just gotta stick with me a little bit longer. We're really getting there. So the last month we really need to fix is March, so it's $541 over. We've already gotten rid of the Roth IRA, so we'll put the extra debt payments down to 0, and we know we're gonna put that payment over here. And so we're still negative $291, so we'll take utilities down to $10, and then it's gonna be an extra $290 over here. And there we go. We are still have a little extra in January, but I expected that because overall for the year, we've got $354 extra. You can see this is still matching. We're still putting $3,600 total towards utilities. We've still got $3,000 in extra debt payments, and we've still got $6,000 to my Roth IRA, but we've adjusted it. So months that we have higher income and lower income, it doesn't really matter. We've adjusted things so that overall left to budget each month is basically a positive number. Again, it's an estimate, so I'm not trying to get exact with it. But this is really important because I know that like January, we're gonna make a big extra debt payment, and February, we're gonna make a smaller one, and then March, it might be nothing. These months that I have 0 hopefully ends up actually being something and not 0. But, you know, based on what the numbers actually end up being, we'll have to see. Also, some of these expenses might be different, so I'm budgeting $300 a month for utilities, but what if utilities go up a lot this year and then we actually need more for that? All this will have to be adjusted. So it's an estimate, but I think it is important to understand, like in January, we used to have $1,000 extra here, and now it's, you know, only $200 extra, and that's because we need to fund our utilities up front more, because other months we're gonna have not enough to put towards utilities because we do have that irregular income. So now I know in January when I'm making our budget, I'm gonna put $590, or I might just make it around $600 that I put into utilities that month to get ahead for the other months where we make less income. So the other thing that I do once I'm done with my annual budget is I make a duplicate of it, and then as we actually go through the year, I put in the actual numbers so I can see the difference between what the estimate was and what we actually do, and it helps me get better at doing our annual budget, and also helps me do some analysis at the end of the year as to how much we actually spent in each category for the whole year. And the other thing that I really love about doing this annual budget is it helps me set our annual financial goals. So I can look at the budget and I can see how much I'm estimating for total debt payments, and then I can set goals for the year based on those estimates. So I usually like to set goals a little bit higher than what I think we can do, because then it pushes us to go that extra mile and hit a little bit of a higher goal than we had estimated. For me, I find that motivating, not intimidating or overwhelming. Everybody feels differently. Some people like to set lower goals and really exceed them, and that's what makes you feel good. I'd rather set a little bit higher goals and fall a little bit short to push myself, but whatever works for you. But yeah, so that's how I set our financial goals for the year. I look at what I think our total income is gonna be. I look at, you know, what percent of our income we're allocating towards financial goals, and what percent of our income is going towards debt and retirement and investing and all that. And then I can go through and I can set all those goals for the year after I've put everything into the spreadsheet, and I'm not just kind of like guessing at how much we're gonna pay towards things. I'm actually doing it based off a projection I did for the year. So I hope you guys found this video interesting. I know it might be a little bit confusing, but hopefully you guys followed what I was doing. There's different ways to budget when you have a regular income. The way I did it just now in that annual budget is just one way to do it. There's other ways to do it, so you don't have to do it that way, but that's kind of how I like to do it. I'd rather keep everything else as consistent and even as possible for all my other expenses, and then just move around like my debt payments and retirement contributions to the extent possible. And then, as you saw, we didn't have enough income to just keep it in those sections. We had to actually adjust some of our utility sinking fund contributions too. But if you have enough income, you're not gonna have to worry about doing that. You're just gonna have leftover money at the end of the month, and then you can put it towards financial goals or more spending or whatever. That's the ultimate goal, is to have plenty of income each month for all of your expenses, including all your retirement contributions and everything. But that just wasn't the case for us this year, so I had to make those adjustments. So it ensures that we hit all our goals even though we do have that irregular income. So that is it for today's video. If you like the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this from me, then hit that red subscribe button down there. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye.